Good. So we are good to start. Okay. So this is the first session for Azure 900 certification preparation, but it has only a very little to do with Azure in specific. And those who have joined for Azure certification, don't get discouraged, because we are going to cover almost 20% of exams syllabus today, and then even we'll be practicing many sample questions. So let us all get started and then learn. Okay. And for people who have not come here for Azure, don't worry, because again, so whatever we learn, so almost 90% of what we learn is similar to any cloud. It is not just limited to Azure, it is common for AWS or GCP or any cloud for that matter. And so these are very good things that you can learn and that you should learn if you are ever planning to have a career in cloud computing. And so I thought of telling one more thing, because most of you are also seeing this in live in Facebook in the Azure group. So today morning I have seen a message asking for proxies to proxy to attend a interview in the group itself. It was a public chat, everybody could see. Okay, if you do such kind of things like looking for a proxy or looking for dumps alone, so then you will not learn the knowledge, and then definitely at someday you will be caught. But if you are doing this for necessity, if you are doing this because you cannot clear interviews even after you have prepared, or you fear about clearing the exam, then you can definitely get back to me, and then I will help you out for free. So don't worry about it. If you are ready to put the effort, I am always ready to help. Okay, leaving that aside, let us continue with our session. So what will you learn and gain today? So one, you will learn about the history of cloud computing and especially computing itself. So you will start with what is a bare metal, how it went to server visualization, then containers, then container orchestration, and then road to cloud and beyond. So you have data centers to cloud and now to serverless, the advantages of cloud computing, effect of capex and opex. So these terms are important for even for your exams. Okay, and then features of cloud: high availability, scalability, difference between scale out and scale up, elasticity, fault tolerance, disaster recovery, low latency. All these are important even if you are not going to be a cloud engineer. So these are common features that are required of any application that is hosted online. And then we will also look into cloud abstractions: infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service, multipath, serverless, and the cloud deployment models such as public, private, and hybrid. And we will also see the topics for Azure in the end, AZ 900 blueprint. But by that time you would have already covered almost 20% of the syllabus. And then we will have a discussion, a bonus discussion on the ideas for cloud computing journey. I get many questions asking, I'm not from a computer science engineering background. Can I get better in cloud? Can I be a good engineer? I have a real life example that might motivate you. I will share about that when we come to that. And you can ask all your questions related to your cloud career. So that is the plan for today, and then we will end with some of the initiatives that we are doing. Like if you want to become authors or bloggers, or if you want to improve your communication. One serious problem I see with many engineers is their technical knowledge is good, but their communication skills and presentation skills are not up to the mark. Okay, that is something companies look out for a lot. Okay, you need to be presentable. And again, I'll also share about the Buddy Cult community that I am building, which is a alternative for Facebook without much of negativity, ads or anything. It is purely for learning and success. And we'll have our master quiz also. We will have 2 quizzes, so one in the beginning along with the course to get you familiar with the quiz tool, and then one in the end. Okay, the winner of the quiz will get a cash prize of 1000, and also the winner will get lifetime free membership to Buddy Cult, and even all the participants will also get some prizes and freebies. Okay, so this is our structure for session. So thought of the week, we always start with a thought to make you think about improving your career and learning path. Then a little bit about myself. It is not to tell you that I am great or anything. It is just to make you believe that I can teach you something. So if you want to study from any teacher, you need to believe in him, and you need to believe in his or her capabilities. So the purpose is just that. And then we will have our important and major topic, which is introduction to cloud computing. And we will have our quiz championship. After that, we will have our AZ900 exam blueprint, and the bonus, the ideas for a cloud career. So thought of the week: the person who stops studying merely because he has finished school is forever hopelessly doomed to mediocrity. No matter what may be his calling, the way of success is the way of continuous pursuit of knowledge. Okay, this is from a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The book was published in 1930s, I believe, but it is still as relevant as it was then. Especially because of COVID and other things, it is more relevant these days, because this was written to overcome the depression that was there in US and many places during that time. And sorry for the kitch because I am not keeping well, as you know, but I still want to connect with you. So I'll try to mute. If I forget to mute, just let me know. Okay. So interaction guidelines. So you can ask questions through chat or Q&A. I'll try to answer both. If you are asking through chat, other participants can also help with answers if they know the answer for that question. Okay, Q&A will be answered only by me. And we will have 2 live quizzes. So one along with the session to make you familiar with the tool, and one in the end, which will be counted for your prize. Okay, so the prize is lifetime free network access to Buddy Cult. I have not mentioned about the 1000 rupees cash prize, so that is also available. And so last time our winner was Komal, and she has decided to dedicate that 100 to anybody who actually needs it. Actually, that 1000 to anybody who actually needs it, but accept only the network access. But and then top 10 will also get special deals to get into Buddy Cult. I will talk about Buddy Cult later. And everybody who participate in the quiz will get something special from me. Okay. Know your teacher. The more you know about your teacher and their abilities, the better you will learn from them. Okay, so this is me in a slightly different look before lockdown. So lockdown has put me into many different shapes. If you have seen my previous sessions, you might have seen me without any hair, without any beard. So all kinds of things you might have seen. Okay, I am a author, architect, and tech evangelist. I have 2 master's degree on, and one of them is on cloud computing, and another is on data analytics. I have around 10 plus certifications. I've worked with companies such as TCS, American Express, SAP Ariba, Software AG, IG Infotech, VMware, and currently I am working as a principal engineer in Society General. Okay, and I have taught thousands of students through my blogs, cloudrix.com and javaig.com. Okay, so these are the books I have written, and the third book is in pipeline. And I would also like to share a happy news that my second book, which is AWS Security Cookbook, has come 8th on best cloud computing books of all time. And so after that, I really thought I should increase my teaching and sharing, so that I can connect with more people, and I can even write better books, because the more I connect with people, the better I can write, and the better it will help people. Okay, and all those who have actually studied alongside me during the time I was writing AWS Security Cookbook, I have mentioned their names also within the book, which is published across the globe. Okay, you can check out the thank you session, where you can see the names of all my students who are working seriously with me. Okay, there will be a set of people who come and go, but there will be a set of people who will stick and really learn alongside me. Okay, so I speak at meetups and conferences. I've spoken in meetups such as Agile India Conference, official Oracle and Elasticsearch meetups, software architects meetups, and many more. And also recently I have given a few webinars during the lockdown, one for the IEEE Kerala section of students, and one through Loyola College Chennai, which was for most engineering students within Chennai. And if you have seen my previous sessions, then so this is my library that you see behind me. Okay, and I like to read a lot, and that is one thing that has helped me reach where I am now. So as you know, I am currently in lockdown and in Kerala. So no, this is my room in Bangalore. So I have only got a few accessories here, but still I'll try to connect with you in whatever ways I can. Okay, so this is one question I get most. Okay, why I conduct free trainings? And the reason is my goal for 2020 is to teach 100,000 students by the end of this year. And I know there is a long way to go, but if you all help me out, if you all share this tech series with others, you can all help me reach my goal, and they can all learn without paying anything also. And why I do for free? Because I am working as a senior engineer and getting paid for my work, and I also get royalties for my books. And also me and my wife Sneha keep aside a fixed percentage of our salaries for initiatives to help job seekers and students. As of now, we are earning, and then we can do that. But who knows, if something happens to our careers in future, maybe one of these 100,000 will also help us out. Okay, so leaving aside all those introduction about myself, about the program, about the world, let us come back to introduction to cloud computing. Before that, any questions? No. Okay, so let us get started with cloud computing without any delay. Okay, before cloud computing, let us discuss about what is computing. Okay, what is computing? Computing is processing something using a computer in simple terms. I will keep the discussions to bare minimum technical terms, as this is a 101 session. As you know, 101 is a term used to refer to university courses that introduce concepts, and I am sure many of you who are attending are also very new to cloud computing. Okay, bare metal can be considered as your machine, your computer, which is the physical machine that you can touch. Okay, in that physical machine, you can have multiple virtual machines, and running multiple virtual machines within a bare metal is called as a server virtualization. So virtual machines or VMs come from companies such as VMware, and there are many open source ones also available. And virtual machines are run on a physical machine using a component called as hypervisors. Okay, VMware, the company which I was working before, has a hypervisor on their own. Microsoft has Hyper-V that we will learn a lot along with our training. So you can look into all these things, even though it is not exactly relevant to our exam, but because it can help you reach better career goals. Okay, and then after server virtualization, what came? Containers. Okay, what are containers? So virtual machine is just like a computer. So if you restart a virtual machine, it will take similar time like you restart your computer. And but the problem is with a normal computer or a virtual machine, you set up an environment in your local virtual machine or local machine, and then you take up those software that you have built on that environment to another environment, say production. So if you have started career earlier, then you might have heard about things like, okay, it is working on my environment, and then testers or others will tell, no, it is not working on my environment, and then in production again it will not work, and then people will say, but it was working on my environment. All those things are going off because of containers, because container is a lightweight thing that will only take just enough information from your environment, and that whole thing is moved to other environments. So it is usually compared with a shipping container. So you package everything into a container, and then you take it to different environments. So another question I get is, so it looks similar to a VM. You can package everything into a VM also, and then you can move that VM across. But so as I mentioned, starting and stopping of VMs are costly, and it will take time, and also you don't need all those extra information to be taken from one place to another. Moreover, containers are supporting technologies such as serverless, where you can build web applications and all that will be charged only when you use it, which means whenever the request comes, the container has to start and serve your request. And imagine if you do it with a virtual machine, your users will definitely go to your competitor while the time your website loads up. Okay, and Docker is one of the most popular container product that is available. Okay, so let us quickly do one thing. Can you all go to your queues? Okay, you can. Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay, you can all type Hartin.live on your mobile or computer or any device, or you can even install an app called Poll Everywhere, and then you can type this thing HartinJK999 as the username, or if you go to this link, then it will automatically take you there. So we are following a approach called as quiz and talk, where we will have quizzes alongside the talk, and talk alongside quizzes, as you will see later. So I experimented this in the two webinars I conducted for the engineering students in Kerala and engineering students in Chennai. So in both cases, the feedback was so great that I decided I will keep it part of all of my trainings moving forward. One of the biggest problem with this online trainings is I cannot see you, like I can see people in a live, in a real meeting. So I don't get that feedback. So I am also getting this feedback, and you are also learning better because you are participating. Okay. So if anybody has any issue attending the quiz, you can put in the chat, and I request everybody else who are successful to help each other in the chat group. This quiz is not going to be scored for the prize, but this is just a demo quiz. Then in the end, we will have a main quiz with the same topics. But again, whoever participate in this will get a special mention from me in the end. Okay. So try to answer. You can go to heartin.live and answer. Heartin.live in your browser, or type pollev.com/heartinjk999 on your browser, or even go to Poll Everywhere app and type heartinjk999. Or you can do all these things now and experiment before we actually go to the live quiz. And those people who are attending through Facebook live, there might be some delay, so I always insist you install this app and look also in the app, and do not only rely on whatever you see on the screen. Okay. Otherwise, there is a lot of space for you to come into the Zoom meeting directly. Okay. So yeah, majority of you said it is Docker Inc., but it is not the case. So it was found by a company called .cloud Inc., and because of the popularity of Docker, they changed even the name of the company to Docker Inc. later. Okay, that says how important and how popular a product has become. Okay, and as you can see, so this is the leaderboard. So once you do the answer, you will get to know your scores in the leaderboard, and we can also see where we stand and then move forward. It is a fun way to learn. Okay, all these questions will be repeating in the end. So this is just a practice exam, but I suggest you practice it alongside me. Okay, that is all about containers. So we can learn about talk a lot about containers. If you are interested, you just let me know and I will take you there. Okay, so now containers became very popular. So what was the next problem? Next problem is containers became very difficult to manage. So people wanted somebody to manage containers, and that is where the concept of container orchestration came. And similar to Docker, which is the most important name that you will hear when you talk about containers, Kubernetes is one of the most popular container orchestration tools that is available in market these days. Okay, and it was started by Google, but it is not maintained by Google currently. It is maintained by another company. That we will see now. And again, Kubernetes can be used for management and scaling of containers. It is available on most cloud platforms these days. EKS on AWS, GKE on Google Cloud, AKS on Azure. And as you have seen from this diagram, it is usually referred to as a K8S because there are 8 letters between the K and S. Okay, that brings you to another general knowledge question. Who manages the Kubernetes project now? Okay, please do answer the Qs. So I will also get a familiarity with your names so that we can be friends in learning in the future. Okay, so Cloud Native Computing Foundation. Majority of you did it right. Okay, so more people are joining. So features of cloud computing. We will come back after we discuss. Okay, so now you know about computing, you know about containers, you know about container orchestration. So how did this cloud computing come from computing, and where it actually fits? What was the problem it was trying to solve? So initially we had data centers. So data centers abstracted the actual physical hosting environment. So you have a big data center, and you can either use it for your own company, the whole data center, or you can rent it out to people. When I built my website many years back, there was no cloud computing, and then I used to get a space from a web hosting provider for a year or more depending on the offers, and then I will build my website on that server. Okay, so now it is much more easier because we have cloud computing. Okay, what is cloud computing? How is it different from the data center approach? So here, two most important things are, it is on demand, and another is it supports automated provisioning of resources. What do you mean by on demand? So I can get a server whenever I want, and I can stop that server whenever I do not want, and I will be only charged for the time that server is running. That is on demand. And automated provisioning means I do not need to contact a physical person who will manually provision these resources. It is all automated. Okay, that is where the importance of DevOps also comes. Okay, when in my career I have seen cases where I have requested for a virtual machine and have taken days or even weeks to get provisioned. Okay, and then I have to follow up with my manager, teammates, this, that, and all. Okay, nothing is needed these days. Okay, because we have cloud computing, and it is a pay-per-use, as we have already mentioned. And cloud computing supports various abstractions like infrastructure, platform, software, containers, functions, backend. We will see all these things in some time. Okay, so what are the advantages of cloud computing? First of all, it replaces the capital infrastructure expenses or CapEx with low variable operational costs or OpEx, operational expenses. Okay, and that scales with your business. So what is CapEx and OpEx? So CapEx means the initial investment that you put for your data center, for acquiring assets and all those things. And what is what is OpEx? Is ongoing expenses. So your daily expenses, monthly expenses, yearly expenses, all those comes under OpEx. So without cloud computing, okay, so without cloud computing, you will have a huge CapEx, and what if your company or startup do not click? All your money is gone. You will have to try to resell it, or you will have to leave your rest of your life with that burden. With cloud computing, you reduce your CapEx and even your OpEx. So you have only monthly costs, and if you want, you have the flexibility to have reserved instances and all to increase even your to get more discounts for your OpEx costs. Okay, and then another advantage is businesses no longer need to plan and procure IT infrastructure weeks or months in advance, as I mentioned before. And you can also benefit from the experience and purchasing power of cloud providers such as AWS, Azure, GCP, etc. So in most cases, you will be using a shared cloud computing environment that will be shared by different people. But at times, you might also want to have dedicated instances. If you are into government or defense or those kind of roles, even in that kind of scenario, it will be always cheaper than going and buying your own servers and then managing them on your own. And you don't have to worry about hardware maintenance. You don't have to worry about securing your physical servers. You have the flexibility to use reserved VMs. that we already discussed. And once you have everything into a public cloud, you can close your on-premises data centers also. So there are many advantages for cloud. Okay. So let us quickly have some questions. Okay. What are the features of cloud computing? Okay, try to answer these questions. There is nothing to lose. You can go to Heartin.live and answer these questions, or you can go to polev.com/HeartinCheck999, or you can install Pole Everywhere app and just answer it. Okay, all of the above, majority of you said it right. Okay, more people are joining the quiz. Which expenditure model should you use for migrating all the virtual machines to an Azure pay-as-you-go? Okay, we just learned it, right? So pay-as-you-go means it is operational. Okay, Elastic is a feature that is provided by cloud, and we will learn in a few minutes. But it is not a cloud expenditure model. Okay, so it is either OPEX or CAPEX, and here it is OPEX. Okay, I recommend a cloud deployment solution to minimize the amount of administrative effort used to manage a web application on cloud. Did we learn this? No. So, but you can make a guess, because this is not a actual scored test. Okay, so okay, still the majority of you mentioned it correctly. Okay, good. So we will come back to it. Okay, so this is a very important topic for people who are preparing for certification, and even for people who are not preparing for certification. Features of cloud computing. Okay, so these are not just features of cloud computing. These are desired features of any application that is hosted online. First one is high availability. It is ensuring an agreed level of operational performance, usually an uptime. Okay, and different companies do different things to achieve high availability. For example, Azure and Amazon and all will have different availability zones within each region, and different products like Elasticsearch or other high availability supported projects will have their own architecture components that will support this. Okay, the important thing to note here is that performance is a very important factor here. And then comes scalability. So what is scalability? It is a capability to adapt and perform under a increased or expanding workload or scope. What does it mean? So when the demand increases, your system should be able to scale and then support that increased demand. And how do you do that? It is done through elasticity. So what is elasticity? Elasticity is the ability to allocate more resources as and when it is required, and the system can scale with the help of that. Okay, so again, when you say scalability and elasticity, there are two things. So one is scale out and one is scale up. So what do you mean by scale out? So scale out means you can have different servers or services coming up in parallel, and these services process your workload in parallel. And what do you mean by scale up? So existing infrastructure or existing service will be replaced with a more powerful service. In simple terms, imagine that you have a computer, okay, and you are improving the RAM of that computer or the CPU of that computer. That is scale up. And imagine a case where you are adding more and more computers and then doing things in parallel, that is scale out. Okay, improving the resource is scale up, and then adding more resources scale out. But scale up is easy to implement, you don't have to do much. But for scale out or scalability through scale out, you need to design your applications with the objective of scalability or scale out in mind. For example, your applications should be stateless. And now coming to next one, it is fault tolerance. It is ensuring that your servers continues to run even after a failure occurs. And another related term is disaster recovery. Here the difference is your system should come back to normal. Here your system may fail, but again it should come back to normal after that failure as early as possible. And last one is low latency, which is a desirable feature for any application. It just means your application should be accessible faster. And cloud providers usually use tools such as CDNs. Okay, we will see CDNs later. Some exam tips: CapEx is the initial investment for buying fixed cost. Operational expenditure is the ongoing cost, including annual cost. With on-premise, these features means more hardware that will be used only when needed. Okay, so don't think that, okay, since I mentioned these are features of cloud, these are only available to cloud. It is not the case. So these are features desirable to any application, and you can have these features implemented in your on-premise data center also. But having all these backup servers just in case will increase your CapEx cost. And what if everything works fine? So it is simply a waste of money, which is not the case with cloud, because you pay only when they are actually used. And anyway, your primary resource is dead, right? So you don't have to pay for it. So effectively, you don't pay anything extra for these features when you are moving to cloud. In high availability, performance is important, and fault tolerance, it is the failure and the ability to continue running after that failure is important. And fault tolerance is also different from disaster recovery. In fault tolerance, your service continues to run even after failure, but in disaster recovery, your service may be interrupted, but it will recover faster. Scale up means replacing servers with more capacity ones, and scale out means adding more servers and processing in parallel. Okay, so let us go to another section which is very, very important if you are going to learn or work in cloud computing, which is the abstractions for the cloud. Okay, so let me quickly check if we have any questions. Okay, so some questions is, say, hardware with an OS, a bare metal. So your hardware is the bare metal, and on top of that you install your operating system. Bare metal means bare metal, your hardware without anything. Okay, so either you can install an operating system, and on top of that you can install virtual machines, which is enabled through something called as a type 2 hypervisor. Or you can directly install a hypervisor on your bare metal and install operating systems, multiple operating systems on top of it, which is usually done by a type 1 hypervisor. Okay, you have type 1 hypervisor and type 2 hypervisor for that purpose. And can you explain scalability? Okay, so scalability means you have more load and you are able to solve it without crashing your system. Okay, it can be done either by improving your resources, meaning more and more powerful servers, or it can be done by adding more and more servers. But if you are adding more and more servers, you need to implement your application itself in a way that it can it will not get affected even if the request goes to different servers in parallel. So you have to consider things such as sticky sessions and all. If you have implemented some features such as sticky session, all your requests should go to your one server alone. Okay, so that means your application is not stateless. So there are many design principles that you need to follow. Again, If you are interested to learn more on that, just message me after this, and I will be happy to help you out on that. Okay, so infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service, the three most important cloud abstractions. Okay, I know people are sleepy. It's a Saturday weekend morning, so but only little more time to go, and then you are good to go and continue your sleeping. So in between, I will ask you to attend cues, or I might raise my voice just to bring you out of your sleeping or sleepy face. Okay, so coming back, infrastructure as a service. Here, so you are abstracting the infrastructure, the physical infrastructure with virtual machines. Virtual machines are the common IaaS feature that is available in most cloud providers. In Azure, it is called Azure Virtual Machines. In AWS, it is called Amazon EC2. Okay, and then the next abstraction is a platform as a service, where you don't have to worry about the operating system. The platform itself will be given to you. You will be given a platform such as Azure SQL Database or Amazon RDS, which is Amazon's relational data service. And then you can create a database on that, and then you can work on it and all those things. But you don't have to worry about maintaining these databases patches, or even the operating system on which that database is installed. Everything of that kind will be done by your cloud provider. And another popular term is software as a service. Software as a service means your Gmail or any software that you use. Okay, software as a service is something that is usable for end users, and end users will be using it just by configuring it. They don't worry about where it is installed or how it is installed and how it is maintained and all those things. They just configure and they just use it. Okay, so to understand a bit more about this cloud abstractions, I have put this diagram. And with infrastructure as a service, networking, storage, servers, and virtualization is done by your cloud provider, assisted by you. In platform as a service, everything until runtime is done by your cloud provider, and rest is you. And in software as a service, everything is done by your cloud provider. You are spoon feeded, and you just configure and use the software. Okay, so let us quickly see some questions. A company plans to deploy several custom applications to the cloud, where each application has several prerequisite applications and the services installed. Which cloud deployment solution is suitable for all the applications? Okay, so these kind of questions will come for both AWS and Azure certifications also, especially the foundation ones. So do try to answer. Okay, it is pass that most people have answered, but it is IaaS. So what is the keyword here? Custom applications. Okay, so can you install custom applications on PaaS? You don't have access to your operating system in PaaS, right? So your cloud provider will provide you whatever applications they can support, and then you can use those applications with PaaS. But if you have custom applications, then you have to go with the IaaS, get a virtual machine, install all those applications on your own. Okay, more people are joining the queues. An organization that hosts its infrastructure in Dash can close its data center. Please do try to answer the queues if you really want to learn and benefit from this. Okay, don't watch it as a TV show. I'm not your TV host. Okay, it is a public cloud. Recommend a solution that provides additional resources to your on-premises network with minimizing capital and operational expenditure costs. Just try to answer. Even if it is a demo quiz, it still gives me a good feeling when I see that people are actually participating in it. Okay, so again there are changes. Are cloud native applications specific to cloud providers? A very important question that I get. Yeah, majority of so in last session majority of people said it is yes. So today majority said the right answer, which is no. Okay, cloud native is not does not mean cloud specific. Okay, so this is the final leaderboard for the session queues. Okay, so an IaaS solution provides control of operating system that hosts the application. PaaS solution provides the ability to scale the platform automatically, so that scaling and application support and all will be done by professional services from the cloud provider side. You don't have to worry. In SaaS solution, end users are responsible for only configuring the SaaS solution. Remember that. And there is this concept of multi-cloud PaaS. You don't have to study for exam, but it is still good to know. There are companies such as Heroku and Cloud Foundry who have platforms that can be used to deploy your cloud solutions across cloud providers. Okay, and they follow some good practices such as 12-factor app and 15-factor app. So these things, whatever I mentioned in between, it is good to learn, good to read at least, especially if you want to become good in a cloud computing career. Okay, and then the most important thing, again, you don't get much questions from serverless computing, but you will get a few definitely. But it is one of my favorite topics because I've written a whole book of close to 500 pages on this. Okay, serverless computing does not mean there are no servers. It only means that you are completely free to focus on your code or functions or services, and everything else, including your physical server, your virtual machine, your containers, and even your language runtime servers like Java, Tomcat server, or any server that is required to run your application. Everything from software to hardware service, everything will be taken care by your cloud provider, and you only take care of your functions and your backend code and other things. Okay, so if interested to learn about serverless computing, you can let me know, and I'll be more than happy to talk to you endlessly about it. So whenever I am free, and then without any other fees or efforts from your side. Okay, so it is a very good thing to learn because this is going to be the future. And some of the popular products like across cloud providers are AWS Lambda functions and Azure functions. So every cloud provider this will have a serverless solution. Okay, then another important thing is type of clouds. Okay, or cloud deployment models. Okay, what are cloud deployment models? So we have public cloud, we have private cloud, and we have a hybrid cloud. Public cloud, as you might have guessed, it is cloud providers such as AWS, Azure, and all. Private cloud is on-premise cloud such as VMware and all, and also hybrid cloud, which is a combination of these two. I worked on a product recently where you can configure everything from cloud, but your actual data resides on premise. Okay, so you can choose any of these models based on your cost requirements or even compliance requirements, or you may do it in phases. So for example, you have a private cloud, you extend it with a public cloud, effectively making it a hybrid cloud setup, and eventually moving everything from private to public cloud, and then killing off your private cloud. So you can do all these kinds of things such as this. Okay, we saw these questions already. And what are the exam tips? Important characteristics of public cloud include metered pricing and self-service management. As we saw, public cloud is shared by multiple corporations, each using a portion of the resource in the cloud. And also, a private cloud may not be disconnected from the internet. So when you say private, it is not like it is not connected to internet, but the access may be limited for people within the organization or whomever they designate. What if all the private clouds were disconnected from the internet? During this COVID-19 times, you would have to still go to office to work, right? So they are still connected. But again, there are still a few people who even now have to go to maintain the servers. So these are limited people, and then these are the people who are helping us run our businesses. Okay, so these are some of the examples of popular cloud providers: AWS, Azure, GCP, IBM Cloud, Oracle Cloud, and Alibaba Cloud. Are cloud native applications specific to cloud providers? We saw that it is not, because a cloud native application is an application that has been designed and implemented to run on cloud, any cloud, and should embrace horizontal elastic scaling. Okay, so horizontal scaling is scale out, and vertical scaling is a scale up. The word native in cloud native may make us believe that the application is natively supported in a cloud, but that is not the case. It is just a term that the term that has become very popular, that it is very difficult to change. Okay, so we will go to quiz championship, our final quiz. Again, majority of you made it right. A PaaS solution that hosts web apps in Azure provides professional development services to continuously add features to custom applications. A question that we have not seen before, but I have discussed it, so you should answer it correctly. Okay, it is true. So there is a tight competition. Anyway, don't worry, there are many questions if the tool allows me to complete it. Cloud computing provides flexibility between capital expenditure CapEx and operational expenditure OpEx. Okay, irrespective of winning or losing, you are learning, and everybody who actually put some effort in learning will actually reap the benefits. Yeah, all of you answered it correctly. If you create two Azure virtual machines that uses the B2S service, okay, each virtual machine will always generate the same monthly cost. Okay, so this is a offering that I think came from Azure after they started, I think a few years back, where it will you can have burst mode where you can you will get some benefits with respect to cost and optimization. But again, the two virtual machines may not generate the same monthly cost. It is based on the actual usage. Okay, so this is why I call it as a quiz and talk model. For some of the questions we discuss things alongside the quiz. I will so you just have to be attentive to understand those questions and answers, and then answer it. So I'm going to click next. So it is only time that will decide your score. The faster you answer, the more points you'll get. Okay, it is false. I told you, right? It will not be same. So why have you made mistakes? Okay. So when an Azure virtual machine is stopped, you continue to pay storage costs associated with the virtual machine. Okay. So when you stop a virtual machine, you stop paying for that virtual machine. But as long as you do not delete your data is still safe there in the cloud and is chargeable. Okay, it is true. So you will not be. So there are three things. So when you use any cloud provider, basically you will be using three kinds of computing resources. So one is compute, and second is storage, and third is network. Okay, so compute and network is only used when you are actually running a service, but storage is used even when you are not running a service. But you can delete your or data or cleanup, because even though it does not cost a lot, data is still stored somewhere, and data is definitely most valuable among other things. Okay, so we have again changes in the leaderboard. In a SaaS solution, end users are responsible for what? So this is an opportunity for you to test your knowledge, okay, and ask doubts. Okay, if imagine if you are seeing questions from DUMS or websites or anywhere else, you will still have some questions. Okay, whether it is true, whether it is not true. Here you have the flexibility to ask anything that you want. Okay, as I mentioned before, in SaaS, the end user's responsibility is just configuring and using it. Okay, high availability is done by the developers or the maintenance. Defining scalability rules again done by developers or maintainers. So end users only configuring it and using it. Ensuring that some of the servers are available if a single data server goes down for an extended period is called. So what out of these features matches the most? Servers are available even if something fails. Yeah, fault tolerance, majority of you answered it correctly. And feel free to ask questions, ask doubts. Okay, otherwise it will be just like a TV show or a video course. An organization that hosts its infrastructure can close its so an organization that hosts its infrastructure dash can close its data center. We saw it, we learned it. Future is cloud, so you have to understand all these things at least. Okay, so irrespective of whether you want to take a certification or not. Okay, in the private cloud. Okay, so your data center is the private cloud. So if you are hosting it in private cloud, you cannot close your data center because your data center is your private cloud. And hybrid means something is still left in your private cloud, so you cannot again delete your data center. What are the two characteristics of public cloud? Again, we learned it today. Okay, metered pricing and self-service management. You can only answer one of these, but again, you'll get scores if your answer is correct. When planning to migrate a public website to Azure, you must plan to. So it is not specific to Azure. You can read it as when planning to migrate a public website to cloud, based on what we have learned today. Okay, so when you move to cloud, you have to pay a monthly cost. Okay, pay to transfer all website data to Azure. So not only Azure, most cloud providers they do a trick. So they do not in general charge you for data that goes in. Okay, only when you want to take it out and move to somewhere else, they will charge you. Okay, unless you are using a solution provided by that cloud provider like a VPN or a dedicated device or a dedicated network to transfer data, you will not be charged for ingress. You will be only charged for egress. Okay, so an app has a low usage during the first 3 weeks of each month and very high usage during the last week of each month. Which benefit of cloud supports cost management of this type of usage pattern? If you are attending the queues from Facebook Live, you may go to Heartin.live and answer the queues live. I can see people answering in chat also, but I will not get an accountability of it. But if you have really participated in the chat also, you can just send me a screenshot later in my Facebook or LinkedIn profile. Okay, so recommend a cloud deployment solution to minimize the amount of administrative effort used to manage a web application on cloud. So all these questions are from previous exams and interview scenario based questions, and some of them even I have made them up so that you can test yourself whether you have understood things. Okay, it is pass. Okay, so I have mentioned this term. If you are using IIS, you will have more administrative effort, but you will have more flexibility. So you have to look out for these keywords. Which cloud deployment solution is used for Azure virtual machines? Okay, this is a very easy one. Everybody should be doing it correctly. Okay, it is infrastructure as a service. Which cloud deployment solution is used for Azure SQL databases? Again, we discussed. If you are attentive, then you can definitely answer it. So why I kept this training on a Saturday morning is because many people ask me to put it on a Saturday morning or Friday evening so that they can get their whole weekend for other purposes, spending time with family and other things. Okay, Azure SQL databases, it is a platform as a service. Okay, so it is about deployment solution. Okay, not end users. So whenever you hear the term end users, then think about SaaS. But whenever you hear the term developer, deployment, DevOps, or anything related to management of that thing, it is one of IIS, PAS, or other things. Recommend a solution that provides additional resources to your on-premises network, minimizing capital and operational expenditure costs. This question you have seen in the demo quiz. So answer is just as you would answer your certification exam. So then you don't have to learn much after you go back. You can just take this session, the knowledge you have gained this session, and then go back happily. That is one advantage of answering the quiz. Okay, it is hybrid cloud, and majority of you made it right. To achieve a hybrid cloud model, a company must always migrate from a private cloud model. Yeah, so it is not necessary that you have to have a private cloud and then go to public cloud. You can have a public cloud and then even move a part of it to a private cloud for compliance reasons. That is also perfectly acceptable. A company can extend the capacity of its internal network by using the public cloud model. So how can a company extend the capacity? You can use a public cloud model to extend it, and then effectively later making it as a private cloud model, or not a hybrid cloud model. Okay, so no much changes. In a public cloud model, only guest users at your company can access the resources in the cloud. So this is a misconception that most people may have. Okay, it is false. So it is, I gave you even the example of the public transport and the private transport, right? What is an advantage of using public cloud service for the servers over a on-premise network? Again, we saw the answer during our session. Okay, public cloud is a shared entity whereby multiple corporations use a portion of the resources on the cloud. Majority of you answered it correctly. Which expenditure model should you use for migrating all the virtual machines to an Azure pay-as-you-go subscription? Again, you have seen this question before. If you are somebody who has not started attending the live queues, you can even do that by going to heartin.live or Poll Everywhere app. So those who stay till the end of the queues, irrespective of the position you hold, will get the surprise from me. Okay, operational. And that surprise might be something tangible, or it might just be a call from me to discuss personally on your career challenges or technical challenges. Okay, fault tolerance. Yeah, so we discussed about the differences between fault tolerance and disaster, right? Here it remains to be available even after a failure occurs. A cloud service that can be recovered after a failure occurs So any people who have succeeded in their life has done that because of their connections or community support. Okay, connections does not mean the godfather thing in movie industry and all. Okay, it is about the community support. A cloud service that performs quickly when demand increases. Again, a very straightforward question. Because you need a community to be successful. You need friends. You cannot be islands. And you need friends who will take you to success rather than friends who try to be successful on their own. Okay, majority of you answered it correctly. A cloud service that can be accessed quickly from internet. So only top 10 can be seen in the screen. That does not mean you are not there in the picture. You can come to top 10 at any time. Even otherwise, you can take a screenshot of whatever scores you are at and then share it with me. Okay, it is low latency. Majority of you made it right. Okay, even few people are still making mistakes. So you have to ask yourself whether you need more clarity on those topics. To implement a hybrid model, company must first have a private cloud. I think we already saw it in another form. Okay, this false. A company can extend the computing resources of its internal network by using a hybrid cloud. You can extend, right, with a hybrid cloud, but not replace. Okay, majority of you made it correct. Okay, I think this question has come before. Might be like a deja vu. I'll clean this up after the quiz. Which two of the below responsibilities will be eliminated after migrating from on-premise to a cloud? Okay, replacing failed hardware, managing physical security server. Okay, physical things are cloud providers' responsibility in cloud, so you don't have to worry. But in on-premise, it is your responsibility. So just try to answer these questions. We are reaching the end. You can still join even if you attend one question and stay till the end. You will still be eligible for the surprise offer. Actually, surprise gift. It's not an offer or anything. It's a surprise gift. False. Okay. So capex means what? Paying something upfront. Opex means paying something as you use it. So it is an example of opex. $50-50. When you reserve something, it is capex, right? When you are using it and paying it on the go, it is opex. Deploying your own data center is an example of capex. True or false? many people ask me for my contact so that they can talk to me once. So practically it is not possible to talk to everybody, but I will try to talk to everyone who at least put some effort on their own. Okay, like for example attending this, because practically I cannot talk to everybody in person because of the fact that I am a human being with limited capabilities. I'm not a superhero where I can replicate myself and then do things. For that matter, it is a nice concept for a superhero, right? I'll think about it in my authoring classes. Okay. Yeah. So this was a very easy question. A company can extend a private cloud by adding its own physical servers to the public cloud. I am telling all these things in between so that you don't get bored by seeing the questions. But in real exams, you will have to be really attentive without all these discussions in the background. Okay, so can you add your own physical servers to the public cloud? No. Physical is done by the public cloud provider. You cannot add any physical servers to the public cloud. You can only move your services, you can move your data, but physical you cannot do. So if it is going to be a physical, then it is always a private cloud. So I thought I'll explain because majority of you made it wrong this time. To build a hybrid cloud, you must deploy resources also to the public cloud. I think you have seen this question before. It is just a revision for you. Yeah, majority of you made it right. Actually, even though Corona has brought a lot of problems for us, it has also asked us few questions, given us some suggestions, made families closer, taught us the importance of communities. Okay, false. Okay, again we discussed it clearly. Okay, so you have seen this question before. So custom applications. Which model will you use? Custom applications, it is infrastructure as a service. Okay, platform as a service, you have to use whatever cloud provider gives you. SaaS means you have to just again, if Google is giving Gmail, you have to use you can use Gmail only. You cannot install custom applications and then use it, right? Features of cloud computing. We saw this. You have to select the most appropriate answer. Yeah, all of you answered it correctly, and we are done with the cues. Okay, if you are not there in top 10, don't worry, you can message me whatever scores you have got, because I can only see top 10, but in your device or mobile, wherever it is, you will be able to see everything. Okay, send me so that I can know that you participated, and then I can help you out. Okay, so let me share my PPT screen again. Okay, so a quick overview of AS 900 certification blueprint, which we will see in detail in next week's class. So next week's class will be on either on Thursday or on Saturday. Based on the feedback I receive, I will put out a poll in our course page by today end of day, and before Monday you will have to answer that poll whether you prefer Thursday or Saturday. Okay, so it is a foundational exam, and so there are 4 areas currently. It is cloud concepts, core services, security related services, and pricing, SLA, and lifecycle related services. So today it was mostly about cloud concepts. We will learn other sections also in subsequent weeks. Okay, so these are the things that we learned today. We learned about high availability, scalability, elasticity, agility. Agility is about cloud being agile on itself, fault tolerance, disaster recovery, economies of scale. You get better deals when you go through cloud provider than you procure these things on your own. CapEx and OpEx, and consumption based models. Okay, we learned about IaaS, PaaS, SaaS, public, private, and hybrid cloud models. Okay, so just type in chat whether you already knew about CapEx and OpEx before you came for this session, because that is something which we've seen people said. So other things we will see in detail in subsequent weeks, so don't worry about it. We will learn ideas for a cloud computing career. So this was before taken before the lockdown, when my book got published. We took a break and went to a resort for a small family time, and luckily we could go before the lockdown, and after so then after that everything was locked down. Okay, so this is why I shared this picture, is because people asked whether I need to be from a computer science background. It is not the case. My wife is from electronics and communication engineering. She didn't know anything about programming when we got married. So she was working as a support engineer in a popular company, and then so due to timing difference and all those things, I taught her, and I also got time to start writing my blogs because she had different shifts. So in a way it helped, but eventually she learned, and she is working as a senior engineer in a leading bank in their IT division, and so she is also AWS certified, and she's co-authoring my next book. Okay, and quickly, why should I invest time to go to career in cloud computing? It is definitely the future. So people are moving to cloud because of convenience and because of cost. Okay, and you will definitely find a job, and if you don't find, you can definitely start your own startup or even train others. So there are a lot of opportunity. And how can I get a real world experience in cloud computing? Again, cloud is real. The same cloud that I and you get is the same cloud that is used by the most most paying enterprise companies. So cloud is same for everybody. So whenever you are working on cloud, you are getting a real work experience. Okay, and if you need better experience, you can work on pet projects and other things. If you want suggestions, just contact me, and I will give you suggestions on how you can do that. Okay, and so just mention me in person, because if your job has been affected by COVID-19 in any way, and so we have initiatives that will help you both in training you and even financially a bit as per our abilities. Okay, so don't ever think that okay, I am not having a job, how I will survive. So we will help you out and even train you to get your own job. Okay, and so this is one initiative that we started based on the requests from many engineers. that they know tech, but tech is not getting them their job, because you have to be presentable, you have to improve your communication skills, you have to improve your public speaking skills. So you have to market yourself better, right? So this is a program through which you can attend quizzes, learn English grammar basics, and even talk, and we will provide feedback. Okay, and Buddy Cult is our own version of Facebook, what created with a thought in mind, or a concept that has been discussed by many others, and which has struck our minds while we were reading the book Think and Grow Rich. Okay, no individual may have great power without availing himself of the mastermind. Okay, so people like Henry Ford, Edison, Mahatma Gandhi, Andrew Carnegie, many people in history are examples. So you need people around you, you need a community to conquer things, conquer the world, to become successful, and that community should be all working towards a single goal. Okay, so all these people have done that. So what is the problem with Facebook? So can you say that Facebook everybody that you see around is real? Can you say that everybody is working towards a common goal of success in mind? So people are there for selling materials that belonging to them, that belonging to others, selling dumps, or even selling something, selling ideas, selling negativity. So there are a lot of things that are not focused on success. That is why we decided to have our own group. But again, we do not want to make it another Facebook. So that is the reason why we have put some restrictions and a very small fee to avoid ads. But again, that is also not needed if you participate in the activities and then earn it. Okay, you have to understand the term. You have to earn it. So it is not free, but you can get it for free by earning it. Okay, so that is all for today, and let me stop screen sharing, and now you can ask any questions you have, if you have, related to what we have learned today, related to your career. So unless you ask, okay, there is no point in attending a live session. You can always learn all these things from a video tutorial also. Okay, but when you do a live session, you are getting that opportunity to ask anything you want to a real person and get the results. Okay, always study in groups, have good friends, have communities that can help you out, have communities that will work together towards a success, rather than work for their personal goals or agenda. Okay, is there a document to go through or revise the topics? Okay, so there are some documents in cloudrix.com and cloudmaterials.com, but that is mostly focused on AWS as of now. But I'll be adding more and more notes for Azure, and also I'll be sharing some notes in our course curriculum also. Okay, you can check out by in a day or two. Okay, go back to the Buddy tutorial course page, check out the curriculum for more details. Okay, that will be the place where I'll be sharing information. I might also send a mail through Buddy tutorial, so make sure it is in your whitelist. Okay, any other questions? Okay, so WhatsApp group for Azure. Again, there is a link. There is a way to reach the WhatsApp group for Azure in your course curriculum page. If you are not able to find it, you can message me. Okay, So okay, I missed a question in Q&A. If there are no resources available in public cloud when needed, that will impact application performance. How to overcome it, or I am wrong? Okay, so yeah, this question was asked by Venkata. Okay, so sorry that I missed it. So okay, there is in public cloud virtually you will get unlimited resources. That is the idea of public cloud, and you will always get resources as you need. And you also take a SLA. Okay, based on the seriousness or criticality of your business, you also take a SLA plan or a professional services plan with these cloud providers. And if you do not get resources and if your business gets impacted, these cloud providers will provide you with a financial amount, with an amount to compensate based on the SLA you have. Okay, so that is why you move to cloud, so you have flexibility to have. But if there is no internet, you cannot access it definitely, but that is a different case. Okay, so hope it answers question, Venkata. Okay, issues signing up for Buddy Cult. Can you help? Yeah, you just message me. I'll help you after some time. So after this, I'll take a break to drink some coffee, to take some rest. So as you can see, I am in room quarantine without much interaction with the people outside. So I'll take some rest. I'll do some inhaling and all, and then I'll be ready. Okay, you know where to contact me, so you can contact me. Okay, everyone, I am assuming there are no more questions, no more doubts. Okay, I am not checking the Facebook questions, but I will definitely check it after this session, after some time, and then I will reply back to you. Feel free to message me or report me and remind me. Okay, I am always there to help, and then the only thing I expect from you is honesty, sincerity, and a genuine interest to learn and work. Okay, so I'm again sad with the fact that I saw messages asking for proxy interviews, because I have seen people who have done that and then came for interviews, going for actual physical interviews later. Then they had no clue about what they had spoken before. And worst part is getting into a job. Okay, so these days you cannot cheat and survive for long. Okay, if you people find out that you have cheated, it is going to be very bad. But for any reason, if you are not able to clear interviews, I can help you out, and you don't have to pay or anything. The only thing is you have to seriously be interested in learning. Okay, yeah, thanks for the prayers, Venkata. So hopefully I'll get better. Okay, so bye bye for now. See you all next week.